Loves Movies YouTube channel, Twitch stream, and Facebook stream. Today we have a special video today where we're going to be talking about this short film that released a couple of days ago, Punisher: One Last Kill. And to help discuss this film short with me, I have a very special guest. This is a person I've been trying to get on my show for a minute. Finally glad to have him here. My good friend Ruben. What's the audience was able to see you?
I was going to
tell us about you.
I was wondering.
Tell us about yourself, man.
I'm Ruben Ryan. You can check out my YouTube channel at Ruben Uncut, where I talk mostly about movies and politics.
Yeah. And then, like I said, I really like your stuff, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I follow you on TikTok as well.
Okay, I am not very up on my TikTok. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I try to get myself more into it, but I'm just not a short form person. I don't watch a lot of TikTok, and I don't make a lot of TikTok, but I try.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I just put out my spoiler-free review for Mortal Kombat 2 on TikTok, so I am trying.
But yeah, and honestly, I just really feel like the fun thing about your TikTok is the comment sections. I really love just arguing with people on your TikTok. That's kind of like a sport of mine.
Some of the first TikToks I put up were political, and so like I just immediately, as soon as I started reading the comments, I was like, I don't need to talk to these stupid fucking people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can we swear?
You can definitely swear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Fuck.
Cool.
Shit. Damn.
Okay. All right. It's always good to know when you're allowed.
Yeah. It's really, like I said, it's really informative to your TikToks. I really just enjoy listening to what you got to say about the world and your observations.
I appreciate that. That's very cool to know.
And I don't know, when I had the opportunity to get you on, I just knew that this is the perfect opportunity.
No, I love this kind of stuff. I'm a huge comic book guy. I've read mostly Garth Ennis. I can't lie. I've read mostly Garth Ennis's runs on The Punisher, but I've also read like some of Chuck Dixon's Punisher and some other comics and some other Punishers too. But it is mostly Garth Ennis that is the primary Punisher that I've absorbed.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because two of the movies take from Garth Ennis in very different ways.
Yeah, especially I would say all three. We'll just jump into it. Okay, so the very first one we're going to talk about is the reason for the season. Is the show itself, Punisher: One Last Kill, right here on the screen here. And this new one is the third iteration that I think is based off of Garth Ennis. I would say,
yeah. I mean, Mon Nucci, that's from Welcome Back, Frank. Like the fact that he wipes out her whole family, and I think the fact that she's in a wheelchair is probably an implication. Although in the comic books, her injuries are much more severe because he feeds her to a polar bear, and the polar bear takes her arms and legs.
Yeah, you can do that in the video game too. In the In the Punisher game that came out, that's voiced by Thomas Jane, but he does not look like Thomas Jane at all. I think a lot of that is based off of Welcome Back, Frank, because I remember that level where you're at the zoo and you're like feeding her goons basically to the animals there, and I think it does cap it off with you doing that to Mon Nucci. Yeah,
Welcome Back, Frank is probably one of the most read of the Punisher stories.
Yeah.
Because like it was like when it happened, it was like important because like the series had gone and been canceled a couple times, and so when Garth Ennis came in, he really sort of rebooted, or not really rebooted, because he kept the continuity. He even referenced some of the worst continuity, like when Frank Castle briefly worked for the Angels. He even referenced that in his thing.
Yeah, and I do. Ennis is having a bit of a renaissance right now because you got The Boys on TV too.
In fairness, the TV show is very different.
Very different. Yeah.
It's actually one of the few comic book adaptations where I'm like, I think the show is better than the book.
Right? Thank you. Yeah. No, I've watched a few times. Just like, some of the stuff that went down in here, some of the stuff that went down on the book, I'm like, it's not going to translate well on streaming. I'm telling you right now, not palatable.
Garth Ennis is a very edgy boy, and
Yeah.
He hates superheroes, so that's
He
like,
really does.
yeah, he really does. He has like a couple. It seems like he has a couple exceptions, but by and large, he seems to really dislike the concept and wants to deconstruct it and tear it apart and make fun of it as much as he can. Because he's written a bunch of comics that are just making fun of superheroes, like the Profession. Or is it? Well, I think is it the Pro? It's the Pro.
It's the Pro. The Hooker.
Yeah, one about a hooker who gets superpowers and stuff. Yeah, Garth Ennis is an edgy boy, and he does his edgy stuff.
This is the same man who gave the Russian boobs.
That's true. That's true. I mean, like, in fairness, there's a lot of edgy boys who are comic book writers, and Garth Ennis is a lot better writer than some of them.
Yeah.
I'll say
much better than Grant Morrison.
I love Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say I like Garth Ennis more than Warren Ellis and more than Mark Millar.
I was about to bring them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed some Mark Millar stories. In fact, actually, some of my favorite Marvel comics are Mark Millar. But like a lot of his comics, it's kind of like, what are we doing here, Mark?
Yeah, I think, didn't Mark Millar, he was behind Civil War, wasn't he?
He was behind Civil War. And that was and I would say that's mostly good. I'm a big fan of his run on the Ultimates.
Oh yeah,
I can't lie. I love that shit. I love how it like is deconstructing the politics, and it's like a grounded version of the Avengers, and just some of the stuff he does with the characters I really enjoy. But like, I get it. He is edgy, and although to be fair, Jeff Loeb just fucked all that up when he came in.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on fucking Jeff Loeb, man. He's the reason why Peter Parker can't be with Mary Jane ever.
Well, not just. I think that's also what is this? It's not just him who did that. It's also
Quesada too. I think. Yeah,
Quesada. Quesada, for whatever reason, thinks that Spider-Man should not be allowed to grow up, and it's the work. It's literally the thing that is ruining Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Peter Parker needs to grow up. Like, him having a family is the next logical storytelling step for him, and the fact that they resist it so hard is ridiculous.
You know, because like there's a reason why Ultimate Spider-Man did so well recently, is because they allowed him to grow up. He had a family. He got bit after he married MJ. And that's one hell of a run, though. And it's just like, you know, I remember finally when I was coming up, you know, in the early 2000s when the Tobey Maguire movies are coming out, the comics I was reading, Peter Parker was like teaching high school, you know? So he's already growing up, and some of them are my favorite Spider stories.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like a lot of people don't talk about this, but one of the things that's really cool about Spider-Man is that Spider-Man is a character who was allowed to grow up, which is not something that a lot of superheroes get to do. Like, we saw him in high school, and then we saw the college him, and then we saw him as the adult professional. But like the fact that Quesada fights so hard against the idea of him having a family in main continuity is just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And Brand New Day, the new movie Brand New Day, shares the title of one of the worst Spider-Man comics ever written.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. And coincidentally features who we're talking about tonight.
That's true. Let's bring it back.
Frank Castle. Yeah. See what? Yeah. Call back. Frank Castle, the Punisher. And
where to start with this?
I don't know. I think we just start with the inception of it. I think that John Bernthal, who was cast in Daredevil season 2 10 years ago to play Frank Castle.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie was like his baby, you know. I feel like
he was definitely heavily involved.
Yeah, he wrote it, starred in it. And you could tell that like what interests him is the trauma of Frank Castle. And that may not necessarily interest other fans of the source material, particularly me, because I'll be honest with you, I feel that Frank Castle, and I feel like, you know, I know him on a first name basis now. I've been reading about him for so many years now. Yeah. I feel like Frank, to me, works better when he is going up against or downright annoying other heroes like Spider-Man, like Daredevil. I think that's why he's so memorable in those other shows, and why his movies haven't really taken off. It's always a cult audience. I think Punisher's a character who works as the guy who's like the unstoppable storm, just a force of nature, comes in there,
Agreed.
inconveniences everything for everybody else, and then fucks on off. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I just don't think that it really works for me seeing him where he is the lead, because I feel like with every Punisher property, they always want to make it Death Wish from the 80s, which I know the Punisher's based off of the Death Wish and Dirty Harry's, but like at a certain point, you got to let the character evolve in the movie medium. And if you're going to make a solo story, don't make it like his family gets slaughtered, he takes up the mantle, goes on a revenge spree. Make it like for me, what would be interesting is if Punisher got revenge on somebody else's behalf, where is no longer just his vendetta.
So like here's the thing though, is that like actually that's why I like the new movie, is because I think that this movie, the story that it's specifically telling is that this movie is the transition between Frank Castle killing just for himself, just for revenge, and then him transitioning to the idea of, wait a minute, I can keep killing for other people too. And like that's really what the movie's about.
Yeah.
And this is a kind of a spoiler, but like the title One Last Kill isn't actually about anyone that he kills in the movie. It's about the fact that this movie starts with him ready to kill himself. He is the one last kill.
Yeah.
And this movie is sort of just like the transition between the Punisher we saw in those shows into the like ultimate stage of Punisher.
Yeah.
Where he is just that unstoppable killing machine.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what the movie, like in the movie, like I love a lot of shots in it, like the part where he's like hallucinating and he's walking past the Punisher he's about to be as he walks, as he's trying to get away.
Same guy who did Nightcrawler, by the way. He's the same director of photography on this.
Like the Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
The Jake Gyllenhaal Nightcrawler, yeah.
Oh shit, that is
same DP. So
that's a really good movie. That's a really good movie. That movie made me love Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, because like before that, I'd only seen him in a couple things, and I was kind of like, eh. And then I saw that, and I was like, oh shit, Jake Gyllenhaal is fucking great.
Yeah, and it just so like, and I think that's what because like I said, it's a mixed bag for me. That's what I like though. He eventually transitioned into who I believe the Punisher is going to be, which is closer to the comics. Now, in my dream scenario, I'm about to pull this picture up because I've been begging for Disney to do this. They have not did this yet. I think John Bernthal is the main reason why we haven't gotten this. But I'm ready for the Punisher to have his white go-go boots. See that right there? In the marionette gloves. Okay,
the 1970s, 80s look.
Yes, give me them go-go boots, damn it. I don't care if John Bernthal is being super macho about it. All right. Give me the fucking go-go boots. I've been waiting 4 Punisher movies for this shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, so I will say that like a thing that is like consistently frustrating about like across the Punisher movies and like even the TV shows is that like there is this really annoying adaptation trope that occurs in like a lot of superhero things, which is like where it takes like 10 episodes or like it's only in the last 10 minutes of the movie that the character has his like comic accurate look. And like Punisher's guilty of this. The movie Bloodshot is super guilty of this.
Oh, fuck yeah. Vin Diesel? Yeah.
Like I Bloodshot has its moments, but like as an adaptation, there's a certain amount of why does he only look like this for a minute and a half, guys?
Yeah.
He only has his classic look for like literally the last
frame, when like all the nanites are like gone or something like that.
Yeah. Although I will say that fight in the the fight with the flower in the tunnel is cool. I will give Bloodshot that.
That was the last movie I've seen before everything shut down.
Interesting. It was a 2020 pick.
That was a 2020 pick. That was the last movie I've seen in the theater.
Weird fact. 2020 was the year of women's superhero movies.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, like almost there were literally only 2 superhero comic book movies that came out that year that where the central protagonist was a man, and they were Bloodshot and Arch Enemy.
Yeah.
Everything else centered around a woman, and there would have been even more if they hadn't delayed Black Widow into the next year.
Yep. Which, by the way, movie that I felt like was way too late, and I know it's because of the Ike Perlmutter. That's the reason why Black Widow didn't come out like around Civil War. But lost you for a minute there, buddy.
I was gonna say you disappeared. What happened? But we're back. But you were saying about Ike Perlmutter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but he's the reason why we didn't get Black Widow in a timely fashion. Why we had to wait till the fucking pandemic to get a movie that should have came out before Civil War.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I think Black Widow is a little overhated.
Yeah.
But like, there is a distinctive element to the film where it's like this would have had so much more impact if it had come out in the time frame that it's supposed to take place, which is right after Civil War.
Yep.
Like it would have just had a lot more impact if they had made the movie then.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I mean, you know.
Also, it's super weird that so many women superhero movies are like flashbacks or like take place in the past for some reason. So that's super weird. It's happened enough times that it is a trope.
Yeah.
Like,
because you have what? You have fucking Wonder Woman,
both
Captain Marvel movies. Yeah, both of them. Captain Marvel. Yeah, Black Widow. Yeah, they're all like not in the chronological order.
Yeah, and like the first Wonder Woman, it makes sense.
Yeah,
but then like the second Wonder Woman is like, why are we in the 80s?
I try not to acknowledge that film's existence.
I need to rewatch it because when I saw that movie, I was on a lot of acid.
Yeah,
and when I saw it, I like for the scene where the scene where he is confessing who he really is to his son, Maxwell Lord, that scene made me bawl like a baby. I don't know.
Fantastic.
That scene hit so hard for me that it's hard for me to hate the movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to go back and rewatch it to like get my head around it. But anyway.
My issue with that, because before we get back to Punisher.
Yeah.
And I promise on this Punisher show, we'll talk more about Punisher. But
I have a lot to say about all his movies.
But one issue I did have with Wonder Woman 1984, I think it's a common issue, but I was the first one to bring it up, is the issue of consent, because she kind of did take advantage of a man who wasn't in control of his body.
In fairness to the movie, like the point is that like her wish is supposed to be selfish.
Yeah.
But it is weird.
Yeah, right.
Fair, it's very like 1980s weird.
Yeah.
Like that is very much an 80s movie choice.
That's true. That is true.
That's like, yeah, that's the kind of shit that happened in 80s movies all the time. Nobody cared.
Random guy gets possessed.
The 80s was an extremely, I don't know, non-consent friendly decade. Like there was just like so many movies where it was just like, this is normal, guys. It's like
Revenge of the Nerds.
that is one of the popular examples, but it's not even just Revenge of the Nerds. It is so many movies from that period of time.
Yeah, it was a weird period full of cocaine and.
It's also a period of like one of the most ridiculous Punisher movies.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about that or come back to it?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great segue too. So yeah, let's talk about Punisher 89.
Where he never wears the suit.
Never wears the suit. Never wears the skull. That's our biggest issue. He never puts on the fucking skull. And you would think that of all the decades, the 80s, they would be the most game for it. I think they even went back and they did like someone did a fan edit and they wasted a lot of time in their life putting the skull on his shirt in a little re-edit.
Honestly, that person's a hero.
He had a lot of time on his hand though.
It's been a while since I saw that one. The main things that I remember from it, and I talked to you about this before we started streaming, which is that movie was the only movie that really had the opportunity to be comic accurate to the Punisher in a very specific way, which was it was the only movie where it would have worked for him to be a Vietnam veteran and it not be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so like I will always be mad that they decided to make him a cop, because that's such a terrible choice for the Punisher. Making the Punisher a cop. It's been done several times in like cartoons and movies, and even Ultimate Punisher was a cop. And like the thing is that like I actually do think him being a war veteran is like an essential fundamental aspect to the character of Punisher. I don't think cop works. I think cop fundamentally changes the way I would look at the Punisher.
Yeah. And I think because I was watching this movie for another podcast, and I will say I think that Dolph Lundgren looks the part.
Yeah.
Like when I look at him, I see the comic of the 80s.
Did
Punisher.
they dye his hair? I can't remember.
They did dye his hair.
They did dye his hair. Okay, then yeah, he looks good then.
And I could see why somebody would cast him because he looks like the 80s version of that character. And yeah, you have the issues of him being a cop, him going against the Yakuza and all of that. And Louis Gossett Jr. as his sidekick. I don't know why they had to give Punisher a sidekick. I always hate when they give him a cop sidekick too.
There are some comic book accurate sidekicks for the Punisher, to be fair. Okay. Like Micro.
Yeah, Micro. But it's not like I always gave Micro an exception to that rule.
Yeah.
Because the Punisher, needs an explanation on how he gets all these weapons. Like, who is this guy in the chair, right? How does he know all this information? So, I let that slide. But like having like a cop partner or whatever, I'm just like,
it raises ethical questions.
Yeah, ethical questions. Why is this a buddy cop movie? Why isn't he's trying to stop Frank from doing so many heinous shit against witnesses and victims and shit like that? So
it is kind of the movie itself is kind of
propaganda from the 80s.
Yeah, it is a victim of its time, really, because like that's kind of the thing that's wrong with it is that like they worked so hard to make it more of like a standard 80s action movie. They make it more like the type of movies Dolph Lundgren made, or the type of movie that Sylvester Stallone or Chuck Norris or any of those guys were making, or Arnold were making in the 80s, specifically those types of movies. And like that's kind of what hurts the Dolph Lundgren movie is that it's not really a Punisher movie. It's
Commando in the city.
It's Commando but with cops.
Yeah.
Although one of the funniest parts of that movie is that like they set up this like all these martial artists in this one room to like
I know what you're talking about,
and then he just comes in and wastes them with guns.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, oh, that was
it. See, for me that felt on brand. I'm like, that is something comic book Punisher would do. He wouldn't waste his time getting the whole fist fight. Like he had a machine gun.
It's true. Garth Ennis, specifically, like in Welcome Back, Frank, there's a piece of his inner monologue where he talks about how much he hates hand-to-hand combat and how like he does not want to engage martial artists directly because it sucks. So there's this part where his plan for taking out the big martial arts guy is he just sneaks up behind him on a train platform and just pushes him into a train.
Yeah.
Because he says he would avoid hand-to-hand combat any chance he gets, basically.
And so, like, tying it back to One Last Kill, one of my gripes is when you don't put the Punisher in his suit. All right, it just feels something wrong when he's out there doing his thing. It just doesn't feel right to me for him to wear anything that's not a black or short sleeve or long sleeve shirt with a skull on it. And honestly, I think because we already seen what John Bernthal looked like with the Punisher outfit on, it didn't bother me as much as it did with 89.
He is wearing it. He is wearing it in the flashbacks too.
Yeah, and he wears it in the end. So
he wears it at the end. Yeah.
So it makes up for it. But in the 89 movie, you didn't get none of that, and it's just he's like, it's okay. You could have called him fucking Martin Riggs. You could have called him Martin Riggs. Made it a solo Lethal Weapon movie.
Yeah.
He was not Punisher.
Yeah, no, I mean, like that's kind of the thing with the 1989 one is they were too busy trying to make it like every other movie that was already there.
Yeah,
and that's like it's such an obvious mistake, but like it's a mistake that Hollywood does again and again and again, like throughout the years.
And the name of this episode is Enter the Punisher Verse, and I kind of wish the MCU, since they're in the multiverse saga, they can give us old man Punisher with Dolph Lundgren and put him in the skull shirt.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren deserves a redemption, a Punisher redemption story.
Exactly, right?
They
gave it a Blade. They gave it a Blade after Blade had a bad third movie.
Yeah, no.
You know,
Let's see him in Secret Wars. Give me the Punishers in Secret
exactly.
Wars.
Get us all R.I.P. Ray Stevenson. Give us all the living Punishers on screen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, we can't bring back Ray Stevens. That's too bad.
Yeah,
because Ray Stevens did a great job, but I don't want to jump over Thomas Jane before we talk about Ray Stevens.
Yeah, let's get over to Thomas Jane. Now this one, Punisher 04.
He does get his suit earlier.
He gets his suit earlier, yes, but he's not a cop this time. He's an FBI agent,
which is a cop. They're just more important cops.
Yeah, more important cops who go on raids and kill whole Italian mafia families and the Sting cartel.
Yeah.
Sting operation, not a Sting cartel. Yeah, you know.
One of the things that you said that was interesting about this adaptation before we were recording was the fact that like they don't just kill his wife and kids in that one.
Yeah, they kill generations. They slaughter his entire bloodline.
Yeah, like race, like if he had just take out all the castles, like everybody, and he has a big family in that movie.
He had a huge family. The dogs too, dogs, cats, everybody got it in that scene. Everybody.
Yeah, no, it was fucked up.
Yeah, shit. The mailman, he's like, I'm not even related to anybody here. Why I gotta die?
What's interesting about that movie is it takes directly like a very specific thing from Welcome Back, Frank, which is all the people he lived with in that apartment building.
Yeah.
Which I kind of liked. Although, to be fair, John Panetti or John
the
Panetti,
big guy. Yeah.
Not nearly as big as the guy in the comic books.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
they recreate a scene from the comics when they rip the piercings out.
Oh yeah,
I still cannot watch to this day. Like, I get squirmish.
Space Girl Dave.
Yeah, I get squirmish every time. But Ben Foster's in that. He's pretty good in that. Yeah. Rebecca Romaine as the hot neighbor who's into Frank Castle. Which, I mean, honest with you, Frank not really a good hang. So I wouldn't really understand why you would be into Frank. Not really a good hang.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. He's not the funnest superhero to hang out with. Like, it's like he's not a good time because like, he's either shooting or drinking, and that's
exactly. That's all he's doing in this movie. He's just drinking in his room, all depressed and shit. I would be depressed too if my entire bloodline was gone.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You'd be a liar if you said the opposite.
Shit, I'll be drinking more than punishing.
Yeah. Now, the thing they couldn't do in the movie because they hired a normal-sized fat guy to play what's his name?
Buppo.
Yeah. Is that in the comic books? For anyone who hasn't read the comics who's watching, how he kills the Russian in the comics is he actually smothers the Russian with his morbidly obese neighbor.
Yeah.
Like in the comics, he's so big that there's references to that sometimes like people come and like cut him out of his apartment and carry him out with a crane. That's how obese he is in the comics. Yeah. But like it's just John. Is his name John Panetti or John Panetti? I can't remember.
I think it's Panetti.
I think John Panetti, who is a very funny stand-up comedian, but like he's not that wildly obese.
Yeah, no. He's not the way he's depicted in the comics whatsoever.
In the comics, he's like a 600-pound life type of guy.
Now, my issue with this is because like this is heavily inspired by Welcome Back, Frank.
It's also got a little bit of the Chuck Dixon run. In there specifically, it takes the scene with the guy with the guitar.
Oh yeah.
That's from the Chuck Dixon one, and I think so. This is the one where he pretends to be like blowtorching the guy's back when it's really like a popsicle, right?
Popsicle. Yeah.
I think that's from the same comic or a comic in that same run.
Because I was gonna say, I wonder why the studio decided to go with like John Travolta's Howard Saint and not try to get like a bigger name actress and just do Manucci. Just do the Nucci's. You know what I mean? Because you just really switched Manucci with Howard Saint.
Yeah, you're right. That is an interesting choice.
Yeah,
And my assumption is John Travolta was available, and they felt like they needed a big name.
Yeah, and they take the action from New York and they bring it to Tampa, which was a choice.
Oh, right, that is weird.
Like, okay, and out of all the cities, I've never seen Punisher in Tampa before, but okay, cool.
And the Garth Ennis run, he like goes all over the world and stuff too, though.
Oh, yeah, because he went to Colombia at one point and fought a guy Barracuda. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is weird now that you mention it. Although, in fairness, I wouldn't mind if Punisher went and fucked up a lot of Miami. Let's be real.
I for me, and I adore this movie. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a guilty pleasure of mine. I know not a lot of people actually like this movie as much, which I was shocked. But this came out. This came out around the same time as Man on Fire too, which is another great revenge movie.
I love that movie.
But what I was gonna say is Punisher's plan kind of flawed. There's too many holes and too many variables that could have gone wrong. Like, what if like the wife decided she didn't want to go to a movie that night? Then what?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And what if Howard Saint's number 2, who was closeted, what if he was just like, fuck it, I don't care. Go ahead. Out me. like I don't think Frank thought his revenge through all the way.
In fairness, characters coming up with these types of ultra specific plans where if one thing goes wrong, they'd be fucked is basically a comic book movie trope at this point.
Yeah.
Like if you stop to think about Baron Zemo's plan in Civil War, it's kind of like, wait a minute. How did he can't possibly have known that Tony Stark would do that at this moment. That's insane.
Exactly. Like what if we go back to Civil War? What if Tony was like, I ain't even like my parents. He did me a favor.
Yeah, no, it's like
they don't factor that stuff in.
Yeah.
And so and it's just like I just don't think that it wasn't the best thought out plan. But I really love the third act that it leads to.
Oh yeah, totally. I will say I do think the Thomas Jane Punisher is kind of like this is gonna.
I'm still here.
Okay, it's gonna sound weird, but like in a weird way, the Thomas Jane Punisher movie is kind of like the most classy.
Yeah.
In a weird way, and I'm like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it like it has those B movie elements, but like there's a certain level of seriousness to the Thomas Jane movie that like a lot of the Punisher movies don't really have. Like when whoever went into it were like, I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to try and adapt this the best that I can. And you can kind of really see that, but like it still also has some of the issues of other Punisher movies. Like I said, he's an FBI agent. He's not a Vietnam vet. And like, oh, by the way, my favorite Punisher comic ever might actually be Punisher Born. I don't know if you read that one. It's about him in Vietnam and how like when
I did. Yeah.
It's really good. And like the implications of the story are like very dark, but they make so much sense for him as a character. And like they touch lightly on some of those things in both Daredevil season 2 and also just a little bit in Punisher One Last Kill, specifically when he's hallucinating Karen. Karen brings up the fact that he is more comfortable in war than he is at home. Yeah. Even though he loves his family.
Yeah. And I just think that like if you look at the Thomas Jane one in particularly, and by the way, MCU canon, because the Russian is in Deadpool and Wolverine. So haha.
Oh right. Yeah, no, they do have a version of the Russian in there. Yeah, no, that was fun.
And I don't know, I just really like the way Thomas Jane carried himself as the Punisher. And I really like the short film they ended up doing, which was kind of like a sequel to this, Dirty Laundry. I think that was really good. I liked Dirty Laundry also. It's very fun. Yeah. And I just really wish that like he had more opportunity to play this character before they rebooted him in 2008. Because I really feel like he was hitting his stride in that third act when he was hitting people with the crossbows and the graphic kill and his final kill with John Travolta, where I kind of want to see what the Punisher like to get all them cars to blow up to create his symbol.
Yeah,
I just want to see him what it was like him individually putting the bombs on there.
That is also like another weirdly specific thing that happens in like a bunch of superhero movies.
Yeah,
Like there's a little bit like in Dark Knight Rises, there's the one thing where he burns into the bridge. Daredevil, there's the he like sets out the
oil.
So like, and the cops find it and it just goes and it's like, why did he
Is this for the flair, the showmanship?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like the Thomas Jane one.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane, and like to be fair, it's the first one he was in, so like he hadn't quite hit that like all dead inside part of Frank Castle that is so prominent in so many of his comics.
Yeah.
Of course, it was rebooted with Ray Stevens,
who
Punisher
Warzone.
Yeah. Who arguably, in terms of like tone, might be one of the most comic accurate Punishers in terms of like overall tone. Like it's a very trashy movie, but I kind of love it.
Yes.
I feel like that's the one you were talking about.
That was the one that in 2008 when I first seen it, I hated this fucking movie. I'll be honest with you. I did not like the campiness. It reminded me of Batman and Robin to a degree. And if you know me as a huge Batman fan, Batman and Robin is the worst thing you could ever say to me.
No, I hate that movie. I hate Batman and Robin with fiery passion. It was the first movie I was ever mad that I had paid money for, and I saw it on Dollar Movie Night when that was a thing.
Yeah. And I was 7 when I seen this, right? And 7-year-olds, you would think, hey, yeah, we should be into this stupid shit. And I was 7. I'm like, this movie is stupid. What the fuck is this? I'm like,
yeah,
this ain't Batman.
I forget how old I was, 97. I'm not going to think about that. But like the point.
I knew it was some bullshit at 7. That's all I'm saying.
I was definitely older than 7, but when I saw it, my basic reaction was there were 2 things that I couldn't stand. I'll say there were 3 things that I could not get behind, even though I was young enough that some of this stupid shit was going over my head. But like the 3 things were like, why is Robin dressed like Nightwing?
Yep.
George Clooney is the worst Batman.
Yep.
Like his performance as Batman is just like, even then I could tell it's like, he's not doing anything.
I was just like, why?
He's not even trying to be Batman.
What's crazy is for me, whenever I watched that movie when I was young, I was distracted because before George Clooney stopped doing this when he was a young actor, he just kept always bobbled his fucking head when he was saying lines of dialogue, just doing this shit. And so like, I'm trying to watch the movie. I'm trying to get into why is he going against Mr. Freeze? Why does Mr. Freeze hate him? Da 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 da. And I'm just distracted by this fucking shit when he's saying a line, and he's just like this the whole fucking time. And then when he's in the mask that can barely move, you still see he's fucking trying. So I hated fucking George Clooney for that. I'm like, that shit is too distracting.
Yeah, I for years, like if not until Oh Brother Where Art Thou that I realized that he actually could act.
Yeah. He stopped doing this shit when he was talking.
That was probably a movie director. At some point he got on set with a movie director, and the movie director was like, I don't know why you're doing that thing with your fucking head right now.
Yeah. Stop.
You need to stop. But the third thing I couldn't accept was Bane, because when I was young, one of the first like full like regular novels I ever read was actually like the novel adaptation of Batman Nightfall, which contains the origin for Bane.
Yeah.
So like in that book, he is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
he is one of the greatest villains ever. If you read that book, he's good in the comics too, but like that book really like sells it that he is fucking awesome.
Speaking of Bane, Tom Hardy, he would have been a great Punisher.
Tom Hardy would be a good
I think he would have been a great Frank. Like he has the look. He was great as Bane. Don't get me wrong.
I liked him as Bane. Yeah, a lot of people like to shit on him, but I actually appreciated the fact that he captured aspects of Bane that so many adaptations ignore.
Exactly. He made him an iconic character. I mean, he even made Venom an iconic character, and those movies are a piece of shit. But he's
I kind of love the Venom movies. The first and third one a little bit more than the second movie.
Yeah, I like the first and third one. Is a strong word. I tolerate the first and the third one. I fucking hate that second one now.
The second one has a lot of.
Is not a good director.
He's probably not. Probably not. I hate to say that because like I did kind of enjoy that movie, but like no, it has obvious structural storytelling issues.
Yeah. He has Animal Farm coming out too, which I heard that he fucking butchered. And that's directed by Anthony. That's again directed by Andy Serkis.
His version of the Jungle Book also got terrible reviews. Never saw it.
Yeah.
What was it? But backing up a minute, Tom Hardy would be a good Punisher.
Great Punisher. He has the look.
He recently has stated that he thinks he's going to stop doing action movies because they're too hard on his body.
Yeah.
But the thing is that like he said that after he made the movie Havoc. And I don't know if you've seen Havoc because it kicks ass.
Fucking kicks ass.
But like
one of the best action movies last year.
But he like literally spends like almost the whole movie doing like John Woo dives and drop kicks.
Yep.
And it's kind of like that's why your body hurts, Tom.
Yeah, because he went all in. I actually have a friend who's actually in that movie. He actually plays he plays the son of Forrest Whitaker, actually. Justin Cromwell.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Cool guy. Couldn't be happier for him.
That movie is like, what if John Woo made a noir film?
Yeah, because that's like a Punisher movie, if you ask me. Like, it just feels like a Punisher movie. It was more kung fu in it. He's a cop again, but I just feel like he could have definitely done the role. I think Ray Stevenson, in retrospect, has grown on me as the Punisher.
He nails like that specific, like he's the Punisher that feels like he's been punishing for years.
Exactly. And I feel like out of all the actors that play him, he's the one who could probably give me my little go-go boots. I think had they made like 2 more of these, we would have finally got the go-go boots and the white gloves. That's all I'm asking.
I will say, so I saw Punisher Warzone with a close friend of mine in college. Actually, a few close friends of mine in college. And we had a great time. But like, there's just a couple things with that movie. There's a couple things that movie gets really, really right.
Yeah.
And like, it specifically gets like, Ray Stevens' Punisher is great. The humor of that movie is so Garth Ennis.
Yeah.
Like the humor feels like Garth Ennis, like entirely like, oh yeah, no, that's the kind of fucked up shit that would happen in Garth Ennis books.
The fucking dudes who are fucking parkouring. I hated
like the guy who's doing the parkour, he gets hit by the RPG.
Exactly. I fucking hated that when I was like when I came out. But like since I've rewatched it, that has become like my favorite scene. I'm like, that is the most Punisher thing ever.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I love and like when he punches the coke guy, the coke head in the face, and it collapses.
Caves in. Yeah, and
it caves in. Or like when the cop's trying to read that one guy his rights, and Frank just blasts him with the shotgun.
Yeah,
and the cop is like, God damn it, Castle!
Yeah.
Like that is it's hilarious. I laughed out loud in the theater when that one happened.
And I think I just at the time I was kind of pretentious. I'm being honest with you. I was smelling my own farts. The Dark Knight had just came out. You know, that's like one of my favorite comic book movies of all time.
Because it's incredible.
Yeah. So I'm like, this came out like 2 weeks after The Dark Knight. So I think I just felt like when I seen it when I was in 08, I was just like, the fuck is this shit? like we moved past the corny. We're in prestige now.
Yeah.
So I just think that, I wasn't ready for that take.
Yeah.
It wasn't well into the MCU that I was able to embrace it and accept this campy take. Because I'm like, yeah, superheroes got too serious.
It also did a good job with Micro.
Yeah.
It's a very good adaptation of Micro with Wayne Knight. He did a good job with that. One thing that like is glaringly off about it though are the villains.
Yeah, Looney Bin Jim and Jigsaw.
Yeah, they are acting in a different movie than everyone else.
Yeah, they're fucking Jim Carrey and fucking Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Forever.
That's actually a good comparison.
Yeah,
to what they are doing. They are so over the top in camp with their performance that it feels almost this weird contrast to like how intense and serious Ray Stevens' Punisher is.
Yeah.
Also, I can't lie. One scene that I found really unintentionally funny was just the scene where he's walking back to his lair in the movie, and he's just like in his full Punisher gear as he's walking down the street. It's it's just very funny to see him like casually strolling back to his sewer base.
And I just think that I just think
Like, give
that
me the
like
van.
yeah, because I don't think the Punisher van was in that movie yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think any of our adaptations until we got to John Bernthal had a season 2. I was gonna say until we got to Burn, I wasn't sure yet. Well, I mean, I know that motherfucker's in Spider-Man No Way Home, so I know he has been, but I kind of want let's jump into Bernthal. Let's jump into Bernie.
Yeah. You want to start with? Do you want to talk about his shows?
We'll just do all of it. We'll start with the shows.
Well,
we'll just do all his MCU appearances, and I feel like for me,
I did not initially care for him in Daredevil season 2.
Exactly.
When I rewatched it, I appreciated it more.
Yeah.
But like my major takeaway when I first saw that show is that like he was still too. This is gonna sound weird. He was still too alive.
Yeah.
Like there was still this sense of humanity and compassion to him that felt out of place for the Punisher.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I'm not saying the Punisher is like totally dead inside. The Punisher has a history of like actively like defending innocence. Like it really bothers him to see like innocent people brought into violent situations or hurt. Yeah. But like there's also like this distinctive like that's only like a small part of why he's doing it. He's doing it because on a certain level, this is the only way the world makes sense to the Punisher.
Yep. He's a force of nature.
Yeah, is by killing his way through the people that he knows deserve to be killed. And that's sort of like his deal. And in the first season of Daredevil, he was just a little too. He
was hell bent on his revenge because he was like, I think his family just been murdered too.
Yeah,
around that time.
Yeah, that one was fresh. I did really. I thought it was. I appreciated that they tried to work Punisher Born into his like Afghanistan, Iraq background.
Yeah.
I thought they made a couple changes to it that I didn't necessarily agree with, but I liked that they sort of essentially still included it to a degree into his canon, even if it was moved from Vietnam to like the post 9/11 war.
And you have to do that because modern day what the MCU was at that point. So and I didn't mind them pushing that up. I think I really like Bernthal. I think Bernthal is my second favorite Punisher. I still really like Thomas Jane. I still really love Thomas Jane. I think Bernthal. I'm saying this before the show. I think Punisher works for me when he is not the lead of his own show. When he's more like a nuisance for other heroes. Where it's just like the fuck are you here, Frank? And I think I think with Spider-Man No Way Home, Brand New Day. I think with Spider-Man Brand New Day, they're gonna utilize him in the right way, just like they did with Daredevil Born Again. And I would say parts of that season of the original Daredevil that he was on, it worked.
I would say even a little bit of Born Again season 1 also.
Yeah.
I will say I am someone who actually does enjoy a solo Punisher story.
Yeah.
But there is also a part of me that is like cognitively aware that like there's a certain amount of that is not ever going to be mainstream.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain level of like this specific type of darkness or heaviness to the character when he is on his own that is not necessarily always going to have like that wide appeal.
Yeah.
That being said, I do think that some of these adaptations get like real close to it.
They get really close to it. Not just for me, I think Bernthal would be my favorite Punisher. Because even after One Last Kill, you could tell he's inching closer to comic book Punisher than he was before.
And that's sort of the way it's been. Like season 2 of Daredevil, you can kind of see the arc, but like it's still not all the way there.
He just keeps quitting. That's my problem with his Punisher. He keeps quitting. Like he keeps getting to the point where I don't know, I don't want to be the Punisher no more. I'm gonna check out.
Well, the one good news is that, like, technically speaking, if we were to take One Last Kill at its face of what the story it's telling, then that should be the last time he quits.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, is that this should be like, if the follow-ups of what they do with his character, use this properly, then this should be the transition.
Yeah, the last time he quits. Because I was like, you did this 2 times already, man. Like stop quitting. Like, this is your 3rd time where you're like, you know what? I'm going to be the Punisher. Because at the end of his own series, he ended with, you know what? I'm going to be the Punisher. Then Daredevil Born Again. Oh, man, fuck this. I don't want to be the Punisher no more. This shit. Oh, cops took my sign and took my symbol and they're using it, you know, for ill-gotten means. Fuck that. Whatever. Like, no. Make a decision.
I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed both seasons of Punisher. I'm sorry, Daredevil Born Again.
I love both seasons.
But like I am disappointed that Frank didn't come back and kill some of those cops.
Exactly, because my thing is, and I think that's my gripe with One Last Kill. Is that like it's not about the ABT.
It could still happen in season 3.
It still could, but my thing is that Kingpin took his symbol, bastardized it, and used it for a fascist agenda, a fascist regime. They bastardized his symbol.
To be fair, those cops were using his symbol before Kingpin started financing them.
That's true. But my thing is just like these people like ruined your reputation. So like I thought One Last Kill was he was going to get some get back of some of those cops. I didn't, you know, that's what I was hoping for. I'm not mad at the story we got, but I was hoping that it was going to be like his response to his symbol being twisted.
That would have been cool. I didn't go in with those expectations just because I could tell from the trailer that's probably not what it was going to be.
Yeah.
But and then you had the 2 seasons of the Punisher show, which I really liked.
Yeah.
Those were actually what sold me on him as the Punisher, because each season he was a little bit more the Punisher.
Yeah.
At like season 1, I really liked, and then season 2 I thought was really good. I do think it was interesting that season 2 had Christian nationalists as the main villain.
Yeah.
Before people were even super aware of Christian nationalists, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed both of those. But you're not wrong. Is that like both of those are like movies? Both of those are stories where like it sort of pushes him back into being the Punisher.
Yeah.
Both times.
Because, you know, like one thing, and, you know, I am joking about the go-go boots, but
okay, I would accept the go-go boots.
But Frank, no, Frank, if you look at the Spider-Man No Way Home, I keep calling No Way Home. If you look at the Spider-Man Brand New Day photos, he is wearing them, but they're black. They're black boots and gloves. So I guess, you know, I mean, you know, I got my boots and gloves, but, you know, we couldn't compromise on the color. And that's fine. And what I like about Brand New Day, from just on the trailers alone and the behind the scenes, and just like from the way this special ended, Punisher is really embraced his brand now. Like he's really all about the branding. Because if you look at the Brand New Day trailer, if you look really closely on his hood, it has the skull on the Punisher van. So I'm like, he's really embracing branding now.
We're finally gonna get the Punisher van.
Yeah, we got the Punisher van. He got the skull on it now. Like he's taking back the symbol after it was taken from him and bastardized. So I'm like, he's about branding now. So this is good. He's branding. Right. He's brand aware now.
Oh wait, I do want to address Micro from season 1 of Punisher.
I didn't know you were going with this.
So a thing around that time is that there were a bunch of adaptations of characters from the comics that had previously been fat, who, when they adapted them, were like, no.
Yeah.
And Micro is one of them. Micro is canonically in the comics, pretty big guy.
And short.
And then they were like, Wayne Knight, like kind of perfect Micro in that movie, to be honest.
In Warzone, yeah, I love Wayne Knight as Micro.
And then they had this guy, and like I accepted it overall for the story, but there was a part of me that's just like, why? But like it's not even the only adaptation that was doing that at the time. Like Gotham made the Penguin skinny,
like
super skinny. The New 52 like reboot of DC Comics made Amanda Waller skinny.
Yeah.
It was a weird time. Yeah. It was a weird time. It's like, no, these characters are plus sized. What are you doing?
Well, on the micro of it all was for what was ruining micro for me, because now that they made it all canon, is how they're going to address the whole Thing situation. Because Thing from the Fantastic Four is played by the same actor. He's just now a
Oh
rock
shit,
man.
you're right.
They're played by the same actor now. It's all
Well, to
just
be
like,
fair, they are technically from different universes.
yeah.
And even if they were to appear at the same time, one of them would look like the Thing.
Exactly. I was gonna say, like, how would that like when you be like, hey man, you look kind of like me back when I was a human. like, because they're gonna merge the universes after Secret War, so he's going to be the Thing of the MCU. So it's gonna be like, for me, it's just like, so no one's gonna find it weird that Micro happens to look like the Ben Grimm back when Ben Grimm was a human. like, okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't even catch that, but that's a good.
Yeah, same actor. Same
Yeah.
actor. It's just like, and fucking, if they ever do the Blade movie, Cottonmouth from Luke Cage, he's Blade. Same actor.
Same actor.
It's just,
I liked Luke Cage. I thought that was a good.
Yeah, show. I can't wait for it. Hopefully he'll come back.
He's gonna be in season 3 of Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah. Hopefully he's gonna be Mayor Cage, because like the behind the scenes photos, he's wearing the same suit as Luke Cage when he ran for mayor. And Luke Cage became mayor after Kingpin was mayor. So I'm like, canonically, let's make it happen.
Okay, yeah, I'd be on board with that.
But I really hope if they do like another season, they just don't do like another season of Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and just make Heroes for Hire.
I was gonna say, I think Heroes for Hire is what I've heard they're making now.
Yeah, I'm like, just make that their joint third season. You know?
And hopefully the guy who plays Iron Fist has learned martial arts.
Exactly. Hopefully he had enough time to do martial arts.
Yeah,
man.
I never saw season 2 of Iron Fist. I watched all of
much better than season 1.
Okay, that's good to hear, because like I watched season 1 and I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
Like even Arrow on the CW had better fight scenes.
Right.
And like that was a thing I didn't realize until like after I watched Iron Fist, I went and I watched a couple of those fight scenes from Arrow, and I was like, oh no, even these are better.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because one of them is on Netflix and one of them is on network.
CW, yeah.
Which means that this one on the CW had a much tighter production schedule, because they had to make way more episodes.
Yeah.
And with probably less budget. That's wild.
Well, Jeff Loeb was running the TV division at the time, so it was how we feel about Jeff Loeb. So it was way before Disney proper, Marvel Studios proper took over TV.
But like even then, we'd already seen Daredevil season 1 and 2, so we knew how good their martial arts fight scenes could be.
Yeah.
So when Iron Fist comes out and it's all this choppy bullshit, it's like, what is happening right now?
I agree. That is not a. But season 2 was good. His appearance on Luke Cage was what really won me over, because he appears in like episode 6 of season 2 of Luke Cage, and he's really good on that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm won over. I think this guy needs some redemption on
I'm sure
Iron Fist front.
I'm sure they got him some more training after the first season.
Yeah.
They had to have.
Yeah, and he's been asking like ever since they canceled it, because ever since Disney brought Daredevil back, he's been asking for his chance for redemption, because he says like they didn't have time to choreograph that show at all. Like they kind of just hit the ground running and started filming it. So, and now they got Shang-Chi in there too. So I want to see him go against Shang-Chi. I want to see how.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's my theory. Everybody who's been talking about Brand New Day thinks that it's going to be Daredevil. And there's a scene in the trailer where Spider-Man jumps at a bunch of the hand. Mm-hmm. And if you look in the shot, a couple members of the hand are looking down. They're not even looking at Spider-Man. So people are thinking that that's Daredevil and Spider-Man jumping at the same time in unison. And if you know how season 2 of Born Again ended, I'm thinking that it's not. I'm thinking it's the Defenders. I think we're getting the Defenders. We're not getting Daredevil.
That would be a pretty dope surprise.
Yeah, I think we're getting Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones, or just Iron Fist and Luke Cage teaming up with Spidey, taking on the Hand. Because in the comics, Spider-Man's always hung out with that group.
Mm-hmm.
They just hasn't been able to hang out with them because of Sony. But in the comics, they hang out all the time. You know what I mean? I think that like
we've already got Punisher in there.
Exactly. And so I think that I think
technically we already had Daredevil already showed up in
No Way Home.
In No Way Home, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it can happen, So my theory is that it's the Defenders. I think it's the Defenders that's going to show up. But I just feel that Frank is finally getting his due. I think that One Last Day, or not One Last Day, One Last Kill. I'm mixing both movies up. I think One Last Kill is a great way. It's not like a direct setup to One More Brand New Day. It's not a direct setup to Brand New Day, but it is a setup for the type of Punisher we're going to see. I think we're finally seeing the Punisher embracing the fact that he is the Punisher, and that he's no longer going to kill for himself. He's going to kill for others. he's gonna right the wrongs done to other people, and I think that that's a great trajectory to take the Frank Castle character after all these adaptations.
Yeah, and I honestly I really liked One Last Kill in a lot of ways. To be fair, it is short, and there is that one terrible CGI shot. But like some things about it that I really first of all, I think it's kind of awesome that it's the reverse raid.
Yeah,
where it's like it's all the killers are coming into the building to kill him, and he's got to fight his way out. I thought the action scenes were generally really good.
Yep.
But the thing I like about it is that it is this sort of like, this is the type of story that is kind of worth telling about the Punisher. This transition, because we've seen him go through this cycle of like him becoming the Punisher again and again. And so like this is a transition from like from that version of the Punisher into full Punisher, I think works.
Yeah.
I think that is like where the strength of the film is. And like this, there's like a number of key moments from the film that really like, I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And they're moments like, I like that he went to the cemetery to kill himself. I like, I think the sequence where he hears that girl crying for her father as he's being attacked, and like you can see him making the decision between going after Manucci or going to get these people.
Yep.
I think that moment is really good. This is I forget if I said this before we were recording or now, but like the part where he's walking down the hallway, and it's not a hallway. I'm sorry. I think is it
by the buses? Yeah, between the buses, and he sees his former self.
I don't think it's his former self. I think it's the Punisher self.
Okay.
The part of him that is the Punisher. He is walking towards that version of himself because that is the version that he is about to become.
Okay.
And even the thing that the movie sets up at the beginning with like those punk ass kids and that poor guy's dog.
Yeah.
Like that moment at the very end where he's like, that's not all he took from me. And it's like, I won't kill a guy for a hat, but okay, old man.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, the dog. All right, say less. I feel like that guy kind of got off easy. like I'm a dog lover. I really hate what he did to that dog. I feel like he got off very easily.
Stabbed the leg and then a quick death.
Yeah, I'm like, no, Frank, you got to drag this out. This is one of the motherfuckers you got to like slow kill. But
yeah,
and one thing that I thought was corny in the movie was like after he goes on his little murder spree to save lives, he's chilling at the graveyard. He's just like, yeah, I did a good thing. The guy got a nice little flower, and yeah, baby, I think I'm gonna become the Punisher again. Like I'm like, you had time to do all that shit. I'm like, wipe the blood off first. Shit, you just chilling, pontificating in the graveyard. And I have to put in a hard day work in a murder. Just come on, Frank. That was kind of corny. He just chilling there. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna be the Punisher now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna punish. But yeah.
And as long as they commit to that being his new trajectory, then I think this movie is great.
Yeah.
If they don't commit to it, then it's kind of like, what the fuck are we doing?
Exactly. We're doing this again. Season 4 of the Punisher. Oh man, I gotta be Punisher.
Yeah, no, he needs to just be the Punisher now. We've gotten to that point. Like that needs to be what this movie is.
And I felt like
that is what this movie feels like, and that should be.
Because I feel like at the end of it, the one last kill was, in a sense, Frank Castle. He was killing the last part of Frank Castle that was alive to become this new thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's no longer any Frank, is now just the Punisher.
Exactly.
You know.
It's just the Punisher now, baby.
It's just the Punisher now. And, you know, I think that's, before we wrap it up.
It's getting late.
Yeah, before we wrap it up, we do have one more thing to do. And I kind of want to rank these movies out for you. You know, from least favorite to most favorite. And since you're the guest of honor, I'll let you go first.
Okay, well, I think the bottom choice is, I'm a little sad to say this, but I think the bottom choice is really easy. And it's the Dolph Lundgren movie.
Okay.
I mean, like, just from our conversation, it was the one where we had the most issues with the adaptation of it. And, like, it's very clear what's wrong with the movie. It's just being held back by the time period it was made in, and, like, the attitudes of the people making the film, and, like, some of the choices that they made. It's just an 80s murderous cop thing, and, like, that's just not really what the Punisher is or what it should be. Now, where it gets tricky here is that, like, honestly, I am conflicted. Okay. I should probably watch these two movies again before I decide which one I actually like more. Because on a certain level, the Thomas Jane movie is obviously a better movie. Than Warzone. Like, on a certain level, it is just a better, like, produced film. But at the same time, Warzone just, like, nails that, like, gritty nastiness, like that dark sense of humor that goes into a Garth Ennis Punisher comic, like, better than anything else I've ever seen. And, like, so, like, I'm a little conflicted, but I think, even though I do think Ray Stevens technically gives the more comic accurate performance, I think I am going to have to put the Thomas Jane one above it.
Okay.
I think I am going to have to put that there. Are we doing the shows too? Actually, wait, I should have asked that first. Are we doing the shows too, or are we just ranking the movies?
I was ranking One Last Kill.
Okay. But
the shows would be in there too. So, because, you know, you got to have the shows that have One Last Kill.
I would put those both. I would put those both above Daredevil season 2. And would I put it above? And I want to say that I need to rewatch those movies now. Now I'm determined to rewatch those movies, because now I'm actually deeply conflicted. I'm like, I want to say that I feel like I would want to put them above the Punisher TV show, but I'm not actually sure.
Okay.
But I actually would I think I would actually put One Last Kill at the top. And the main reason is because of, well, there's a simplicity to it that just works as a Punisher story.
Yeah.
But also because I actually do think that the idea of this transition as a Punisher story, I think, is worthwhile. I think that is a key piece of the Punisher arc that isn't told a lot. And I think that I like seeing it in this way, in this movie, with this action where he's stabbing a guy to death with a pen, and
like John Wick,
fire. Yeah. And, like, to see him make that decision in that moment, I do wish we saw more of him in the Punisher uniform that he has, because honestly, with the final version we see of it, I think is it's badass. It's really good. And, like, the thing about me putting this at the top here for myself is that, like, it's also there because it shows the potential of what a longer feature could be.
Yeah.
Of, like, what we could see in there.
Because I would love another feature. I would actually love another Punisher feature than another season of the show. I think since Disney's in the R-rated movie game now, you know, thanks to Deadpool. Thank you, Deadpool Wolverine. Since Disney's now in the R-rated movie game now, I would love to see another R-rated Punisher film.
Because the Punisher shows, which I love, are kind of dragged out.
Yeah.
Like, there's a simplicity to the Punisher that these long seasons feels a little unnecessary.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I still loved both seasons of the Punisher show, but like there is like an element of it that makes it feel dragged out. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, a lot of the Netflix shows kind of felt that way to me.
Yep. Thank you.
Those seasons, like it almost would feel, a lot of the seasons of those shows would feel like they like would stretch it in the middle, and then like the last episode of each season would just be like a rush to the finish. And like that's the way I felt about a lot of them, including even like the Daredevil shows.
That's why I love Born Again so much, man. Because to me, I think Disney found the sweet spot, which is 8 episodes.
It's more concise.
13. Yeah, it's more concise.
It's much more concise.
It's quick. It gets to the point. I'd rather see a Punisher movie because I think that with the Punisher, we haven't really got to see him interact with any of like our big heroes. I mean, we got to see him finally interact with other heroes now, thanks to Daredevil. But like, I'm like, dude, how sweet would it fucking be if like Punisher like goes after Deadpool? He just doesn't realize who Deadpool is. Like he's like on a kill or whatever, and like he doesn't realize who Deadpool is. So you have like him going after a dude who can't be killed, and like they're annoying the fuck out of each other, you know? Or like whenever they recast Wolverine, because some of my favorite stuff is Wolverine and Punisher going at each other. So yeah, I would like to see him cinematically. I think for me though, with my ranking, of course, is I feel bad saying of course, but yeah, Dolph Lundgren is definitely at the bottom. Mm-hmm. For me, I would have Punisher Warzone above it, even though I think that it's a more faithful adaptation and all the points that you've made about Punisher 2004. And then I would have Daredevil season 2.
Okay.
The Punisher from Daredevil season 2. Then I would have Punisher season 1. Then I would put One Last Kill. Then Punisher season 2. And then I'm gonna finish it off with Thomas Jane Punisher. I think just mainly because of nostalgia. I know that Punisher One Last Kill is definitely effectively a better made movie and a better looking movie than Punisher 04, but it's just something about your first, man. You know, something about your first, and that was my first. And,
in fairness, it's a solid film from its time.
Yeah,
like it gets a lot right.
Yeah, it gives, and there's a lot of credit that I've just heard you give that movie, because not a lot of people give that movie credit. Not a lot of people would acknowledge that that's a fun time, a good time. You know, a lot of people, you know, the snobs out there of cinema.
I mean, and in fairness, like Punisher doesn't feel like the type of character who is ever going to appeal to like the snobs.
Yeah.
In fairness,
the prestige moviegoer. Yeah.
It's not like one should not expect The Dark Knight from like a Punisher movie on a certain level, because it's not reaching for that high bar.
Yeah.
And it'd be weird if a Punisher movie did reach for that high bar. Like most revenge films or most vigilante films of this nature have like this gritty, trashy element to them.
Yep.
Like you mentioned Man on Fire earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm bring up. Yeah, I was going to
love Man on Fire. And it is the closest thing that I can think of to a prestige revenge
Punisher movie. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Prestige Punisher movie.
Yeah.
Man on Fire.
Honestly, Man on Fire. Honestly, when I saw Man on Fire, it did make me think of the Punisher.
Like, same here. I was like, Denzel's played the best Punisher.
I didn't know that was a remake.
Yeah, it's a remake, and it's a book.
Yeah, and it was the first movie was based on a book. I didn't know that until just recently.
It's a Netflix show.
Because I saw the trailers for the Netflix show, and I was like, oh, they're making a show out of it? And I was like, I don't know, man. I really like the Denzel Washington movie. I don't know how I feel about this. But then I looked it up, and I was like, wait, the Denzel Washington movie was a remake?
Of
a movie based on a book?
Good show, by the way, too. I actually really enjoyed that show.
And
I think that they're actually going to adapt all the, because it's 5 novels in that series.
Nice.
They're more like novellas. They're not even like novels. They're like good short reads. And so like they're going to adapt the entire book series. And I was so mad at Denzel for killing the character off. I'm like, we could have had the Equalizer franchise before the Equalizer. Denzel was just making sequels. Mm-hmm. We could have had a whole bunch of Man on Fire movies, since it's a 5-book series.
That is disappointing, actually. Yeah, no. Man on Fire is awesome. I love Man on Fire.
Right.
I actually like Man on Fire more than the Equalizer movies.
Yeah, right. Thank you. You could have just Because it's made Man on Fire 2, 3, 4,
And,
and
like,
5.
Actually, honestly, my favorite Equalizer movie is actually the third one.
Third one's like, yeah.
I really like the third one because that's the one where he's a force of nature. And you just see him fucking up all these Italian guys. It's great.
Yeah, man. Oh my God, I gotta watch it after the show. I gotta watch Equalizer 3. But Ruben, man, thank you for joining me today and talking about Punisher, man.
Thanks for having me on, man. I'd love to come on again sometime.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to bring you back on.
Yeah, and just to plug my show again,
yes,
my show is Ruben Uncut. You can find me on YouTube, and you can find some shorts of me on TikTok. But most of my I'm also on Spotify. Actually, I have episodes on Spotify that have never been on YouTube. Partly because they don't have video; they're all audio. but yeah, no. Please check out Ruben Uncut, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok. I've also put up some other random short video apps, but like I don't know how I feel about those. America's Best Videos kind of sucks. Let's be real. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's downloaded that app. But yeah, and I also downloaded, what is it called, Scoops or something, and like I feel like the algorithm. No, it's like it's basically TikTok, but like I swear to God, I think their algorithm is racist.
Okay.
Because like without me like choosing any content, it like literally was just like when I first booted it up, like almost all the videos it was showing me is like, here's black crime, everybody, and it's like, damn. What the fuck?
Fuck you, Scoops.
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's weird. It's just like a lot of like when I first booted up, it's just like videos of black people getting into fights and crime, and I was like, what the fuck is this app? Yeah,
you got my curiosity.
Yeah, no, and like that's before I'd even clicked on anything. So like that's what made it super. Like if I had been clicking on racist things, I'd understand what was happening. But like, but like it's like what? It's like if you watch this all day, you'd be afraid of black people. This is fucked up.
Scoops. Oh my God.
I think that's what it's called. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that's what.
Oh Jesus Christ.
No, it's Scoops with a Z. Scoops with a Z. It's very weird. It's very weird. I have clicked on some things, so now it's showing me less weird content, but still, like, why is this the default? What's happening?
That must be some MAGA shit. All right. Yeah, hey guys, you know me, Johnny Loves Movies. Come back next Wednesday when we're back again, where we're finally getting to start Against Type Month. And Against Type Month is Against Type action movies, where we have leads who are known for different genres, and we're just going to be talking about the action movies. We're starting with the late 90s gem Metro, starring Eddie Murphy. So come back for Metro next Wednesday for Against Type Month. I don't know who my guest is going to be, but hopefully they watch Metro by the time we start the show.
Have you seen Adrian Brody's, what is essentially Adrian Brody's version of The Equalizer?
No.
It's called Clean.
Clean. Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. I just thought I'd bring that up since it's the type of show you're doing. Oh, Monkey Man kicks ass too.
Oh yeah, I love Monkey Man. Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about Against Type action movies.
Against Type action movies, yeah. So
that's very cool. That's a cool concept.
Stay tuned for Against Type Month. Next Wednesday, Metro. Ruben, thank you again for joining me.
Thank you again for having me on.
Johnny Loves Movies, where I will see you on that big screen. Have a good evening, everybody.
Adios.